All right, back at House of Harley, and I'm going to test ride a bike, possibly my new bike, not sure. I might keep the one I have now, but I'm here anyway to see if we can work out a deal. I'll show you the bike in a little bit. Got my helmet, ready to go. You can kind of see it, but there it is right there. All right, here it is. Here's the one I'm looking at. 2024 Road Glide. Woo-wee. It is a fleet bike. It does come from Eagle Rider, so I know everything has been taken care of on it, been well kept. So I'm gonna go take it for a test ride and see how I like it. Getting a little behind the scenes here at House of Harley. Ooh, almost fell on my face. That's all in good fun for the YouTube. Alright guys, right when that video cut, I was on my way up to a storage space at House of Harley where they had other inventory that hasn't quite gone through the check-throughs and all that stuff, that hasn't made it to the floor. And my sales lady just kind of wanted to let me see that they had a lot of bikes up there just in case the one I wanted fell through or whatever. So that was pretty cool of her to do that. But unfortunately, that day we weren't able to make a deal because my bike was still in the shop. It was still being worked on, and they needed to see my bike for them to give me a trade-in number to continue the deal. So that's where we are. All right, back to the video. Alrighty, back at House of Harley, trying to put a deal together on my bike. Brought it up here to get a trade-in value and see what I can get into. So I'm gonna go talk to my sales lady and I'll let you know. All right, but I guess while we're here, let's see what they got. Look at this one. I think it's time for the 2015 Ultra to take a hike and get on to something else. Tired of all the problems it's having. Tired of not trusting it, because if you don't trust your bike, it makes it really hard to plan rides. Like you want to go far distances, 200, 300, 1,000 miles, and if you don't really trust if your bike's going to make it or not, it makes you not want to go at all. So, and I want to get a bike that is going to give me the warm and fuzzies when I jump on the road and I want to head out and do a 500-mile rip again. I don't want to have to worry about it. So, but yeah, all right, let's see what I get into. Now the next thing I would have to think about as soon as I get it is slip-ons. I really don't have the means to get headers and the whole new exhaust system, but I can get some slip-ons. What slip-ons do you guys like on your Harley baggers? It doesn't matter what year, just let me know. I had neighbor haters, Cobra neighbor haters on my 2007 Ultra Glide, and I loved them. Not super loud, really throaty and meaty, let you know I was there, but didn't really annoy you on those long trips. So I'm looking for something like that. I had some straight pipes on an 07 Electric Glide one time, and man, just ridiculously loud. But it was awesome. But I'm not about that ridiculous loud anymore. Not about that life. If you are, more power to you, man. Keep ripping, but not me. Let's see what they got here.
You guys been here before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually bought a bike here before. Yeah. Yeah, I like it here, man. All right. Pretty cool. The service manager came up to me and my family and actually gave us a tour of the service area and the storage facility in the warehouse. I didn't really film in there. I don't want to be imposing. I didn't really ask either. But if you've been in a Harley dealership, you're pretty sure you've seen a tech shop in a warehouse, so it's not that interesting. I just think it's cool that I got to go back there and see stuff, because I love this stuff. I love Harley-Davidson. I love the culture, and for them to take the time just to show a regular Joe Schmo customer around in the back just because is pretty cool, man. So I'm really happy with this place. This is like my previous video I made. Like I like this dealership, man. Even if you just come in and want to buy a t-shirt and you just kind of want to hang out for a while, like no one bothers you, everyone's really nice. So but yeah, now I'm back in parts, because obviously you can't leave the Harley that you buy the way you bought it, right? So we got seats. This is La Pura. What's your seats? What's your aftermarket seats? I know Saddlemen is a huge part of Harley-Davidson community. I never really sat on a Saddlemen. I've always had stock seats, always. So I don't really even know what direction to go. Now I know, if you know, I think with Sandoval, he's got a channel, Sandoval. He has his own custom seat through Cairo 3D, and that one looks really cool. I mean, it's really set up for you to be comfortable on rides, because I know sometimes when you're riding and the butt hurts, other things can hurt, and that seat that he designed really looks like it could be something that you can put a solid 300 miles on and not really get uncomfortable. So I'm thinking about that one too. But with this bike I'm getting, it comes with a stock seat on it, but I can't keep it a stock seat because you can't keep your Harley that you buy stock. I mean, you can, there's nothing wrong with it, but like I said before, I didn't show you, here's the Chromeworks slip-ons. What do you guys think about Chromeworks? What have you heard? I guess I can go on YouTube, but the thing is with YouTube, like, unless you got some really bassy headphones and you listen to people putting slip-ons on and hearing what they have to say, hearing the pipes, I still feel like you can't really get really what it's like unless you're there listening to exhaust. So what slip-ons do you think are throaty? Now, I did see this video of this guy that got like $280 slip-ons from Amazon, and they actually sound pretty good. Now, the finish isn't great. It's susceptible to rust. The paint kind of fades. But if you're into just riding and you don't really care about a pair of exhaust slip-ons that only cost you 250 bucks, 3 years later you kind of have to get a couple more because they don't look good, I don't really care. That sounds good to me. I'm not one of those Harley riders that go out for about 100 miles or 25 miles, come back and spend an hour cleaning it all up. I clean my bike once a year before I put it in for the winter. Once I take it back out, that's it. I don't touch it. I don't clean it at all. Now, I might give it a quick wipe down if the bugs get a little bit too nasty, or like I said, not a full wash where I'm scrubbing it, I'm cleaning it, I'm buffing it, I'm polishing it. I do that once a year before I put it away. once I bring it out, like I said, I put it through the ringer. If it gets rained on, if it gets dirt on it. Now, if it's something that I have to take off, like soda gets on it or any kind of weird thing, I like if I'm parked under a tree and some sap gets on it, like obviously I clean that stuff right away. But just regular wear and tear, dirt and rain, I ride. I don't ride it to turn heads. So, but that's just me. You do what you want, man. That's what I like about Harley culture. You can be a cleaning fanatic, you can be a wrench fanatic, you can be a riding fanatic. You know, I know guys that are Harley fanatics and they don't really do that much riding. They're more building, they're more wrenching, they're more competing in shows, and they ride when they get a chance, but riding is kind of not what they do. I'm a rider. If I could, I'd put 12,000 miles on a riding season if I could. If I had the time to do so, 100% would do that. But all right, well, I guess I'll move on to the next thing and quit boring you guys with my talking face. So, all right, see you in a bit. You want authentic YouTubing? Just got a random bloody nose at House of Harley-Davidson dealership. Ugh. All right, that's all. Well, it doesn't sound like my trade-in evaluation or my trade-in whatever when they look at your bike didn't go well. So we'll see if I'm actually going to be leaving here with a new scoot. Kind of bummed right now, but hey, this video might get better or it might not. So as you see, unfortunately, I was disappointed when I brought my bike up there. To backtrack a little bit, I did call the shop that my bike was at, and they did say that they were finally able to get on the lift. They couldn't really find anything wrong with it. The trouble I was having the day I dropped it off, which you saw in another video, that's how it ended. They couldn't get to throw the code. It was running great. They were kind of ripping it around the, the area to try to get it to throw the code and act up. They couldn't. They did offer to just keep on digging because my warranty was valid. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to make a deal on a bike, at House of Harley. They're like, hey, you can take it if you want or not. We can keep digging. You can take it, whatever you want. It's your bike. So I decided at that time, since it was running well, that that'd be a good thing. So I took it up to House of Harley for them to do their evaluation. And they did. They went through it, and it did not turn out well. Unfortunately, I guess there was a lot more wrong with the bike than they liked, according to their policies and procedures and what they have to do to get a good deal on their end, on a trade-in, to get a bike that's, not complete crap. And not to say that the bike I had at the time was complete crap, but it was rough around the edges. It was a lot worse than I thought it really was. So that was really disappointing, unfortunately. So at that time, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to take it back to the dealership where I bought it from. Now, why I haven't done that before up to this point is because it's pretty far from where I live. There's a couple of mom and pop shops close to where I live that took my warranty, so I brought it there because it was close and I didn't know if my bike could make it at the time. But I'm like, well, the bike's running well. Obviously, they saw something they didn't like. So since it does have a warranty, maybe I'll just bring it back to the place where I bought it, use my warranty, they fix it up, they get it all buttoned up, and then I can bring it back to the house and do this trade-in deal. Well, on my way there, it died 4 times. 4 times. It's never died that much since I've had it. It's been giving me trouble, and it has died, and engine lights have come on, but it hasn't died. And in fact, it died twice on the interstate while I was riding it. I was ripping at 75 miles an hour down the interstate, and traffic was kind of coming to, slowing down, and I had to shift down, so I pulled in the clutch to shift down. And when I pulled the clutch, obviously, your bike just goes to idle. Well, I guess my bike doesn't really like it at idle, and then it just died. Fortunately, I'm an experienced rider. So I will put it in neutral. I shut off the bike. And at this time, I was still coasting about 40, kind of off to the side on the shoulder. And I put it up to 4th gear, turned the bike on, fired it up, and I was able just to kind of keep going. I'm thankful that I was experienced enough not to freak out and just to keep it going. And it did it one more time after that, and then it died 2 more times at different stoplights on my way there. So then at that point, I finally limped it into that dealership. service guy came out, he took it around the parking lot, and he was like, yep, there's something wrong with it, and we'll get to it. So, and at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to make a deal. Maybe I can find a bike there. Maybe I go back to Harley, maybe see if they got something there. I don't know. So at this point, my bike is broke. It's at the dealership where I bought it for them to fix it. I'm kind of in a good mood because maybe they will fix it. Maybe they'll take it back. Maybe they'll buy it back. Maybe they'll button it up and I can take it back to the house and I can get a better trade-in and I can get that 2024 Road Glide, or another one. So yeah, that's where we are in the video at this point. So, all right, back to it. All right, another jump cut to me back at House of Harley. Trying to figure out what scoot I'm going to take home or not take home. Today's test ride, 2007 Road King. She is a cop bike. I usually have a fairing on. I usually go for the fairing bikes, but I think I'm going to go into a Road King phase of my life. I've been looking at Road Kings for a while. I mean, obviously it's the same thing as a Road Glide or a Ultra, just doesn't have the big fancy front ends. Plus I have headphones in my helmet now, so I don't need a radio or anything. So that's always taken care of. So, but yes, I'll take this for a rip and see if this is the one. And hopefully I can make something happen and actually finish this saga with all my filming and editing and put a little video together of me not having a bike for well over a month and missing the premium fall ride season. So, well, yep. All right. See? Still no Harley-Davidson yet. The saga continues. I'm hopefully going to edit this video together. I can kind of, I don't know, figure out like the way it's been going to get my bike fixed, to get it back in my garage so I can ride it before the snow flies. I kind of been everywhere between a couple of dealerships. So today I'm going back to the place where I bought my motorcycle because I decided I'm going to bring it to them to fix it and see what happens. I could be leaving on that bike, or my bike. I could be leaving on a totally different bike. I don't know. Today is November 4th. This all started a month ago, even more. So yes, hopefully I'll have a scoot right here and it's a spot in the garage. So, all right, let's see what we can do today. So at this point, I have given a lot of bikes. I have test rode quite a few bikes up to this point. I'm not going to put all of them in the video. Sometimes I didn't have my, my GoPro, or right now I actually have an Action 4 now. I'm using that for this particular part. I didn't have it on me. I would just stop, take a couple bikes for a rip to see if I like them, because I had the time and I was just in the area. I will show you pictures of bikes that look like that were pretty much similar to the exact ones that I took for a test ride. I took a ride on a 2023 Road King Special, sweet blue FXR fairing, straight racing bars. I mean, it was really an awesome bike. Unfortunately, I thought the price was different on it. It was a lot higher than I thought, so unfortunately I couldn't make a deal on that one. Then I decided to take a 2018 Road King for a test ride as well. This one was cool. This one had a Memphis Shade Warrior fairing on it. It had straight bars as well, had a 2-in-1 exhaust. It was meaty, it was fast, it was awesome. And unfortunately, I just couldn't make a deal on that bike. Another one I really liked, I took a 2012 Road Glide right? I mean, nothing really special about it. It was pretty stock for the most part. Didn't really have ape hangers or bigger bars, just had stock bars on it, black. Just your basic run-of-the-mill black road glide. Had higher miles on it, but I did like the price. But unfortunately, like during the test ride, the brakes were really wonky. It didn't really stop the way I liked. And then when I was kind of giving it to her on the way back to the dealership, I just kind of felt like the throttle response between the throttle and what the engine was doing wasn't quite shaking hands the way I liked. And I don't know. I just, when you're on a bike and you kind of take it around, you're like, nope. You kind of know right away. You don't really need to over-explain why you don't like it. It's kind of like, nope, not the one. And unfortunately, that wasn't the one. I really liked it. It was in really good shape. No rust, no nicks, no dents, no nothing. Whoever had it before me or before that really took well. But unfortunately, I didn't get into that one either. But at this point in the video, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to let you know the bike I finally got, the one I've been talking about for the last few videos. Yes, I'm excited. I hope you're excited for this reveal. If you haven't fast forwarded already or seen something, hope not. Hopefully this is a good surprise, just like it was for me when I got it. So, ladies and gentlemen out there in the YouTube land, subscribers, watchers, Harley enthusiasts, moto vloggers all around the world, here you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube viewers, here it is. My new, to me, Harley-Davidson. What you have here is a 2007 Road King FLH IP. That's right, it's a police bike. Now, a regular 2007 Road King comes standard 96 cubic inch, think like what, 1584, 1564. Well, since this is a police bike, this is cammed out at 1680, which makes it a 103 in 2007. Not sure when the 103s hit stock on the dealership floors, but all I know is this 2007 is a 103. And she's peppy and she goes when I need her to. I've been riding around for a little bit. Obviously here in Wisconsin, it's getting a little bit chilly. Weather is a little iffy, but I've gotten some miles in on it, and I'm telling you, with the cop suspension and this engine and it being really taken care of, all right, this is the best riding Harley I've ever owned so far. Even better than my 2015 Ultra, which I no longer have. Yes, I don't have the bag. I don't have the big windshield or the big Batwing fairing. I don't have the radio anymore, which is fine because I got comms in my helmet, which I've been doing for a while anyway. But as you see it, obviously I'm not going to leave it this exact way. 90% of it. Obviously I'm going to put on different bars. I'm going to do a little bit more inexpensive, probably just put some 12s on here just to put my arms up a little bit. But I will be putting on some straight bars on here. Some thrashing 9.5 pullbacks with the mid-bed bar eventually. But at least for one more riding season, while I can get that going, I'm probably just going to upgrade so I don't have to change the cables and the clutch and all that stuff. I could just put a bar in. There's enough slack in here for me to go up one more size. I'm going to get a Clockworks windshield because it has that little flip on the top so I can push the wind back so I don't have that swirl between the windshield and my body. And for the winter riding or for more cold weather riding, I'm going to get Memphis Shades hand guards just to protect that wind from hitting the leather glove. I don't want to go too bulky. I don't want to lose my dexterity. I don't really want to get heated gloves. I've had those for hunting before. Those are sometimes hit or miss, and like I said, because of all that going on, sometimes you just don't. You're unable to use your hands like you want to. But yes, here she is, man. I'm loving this bike. I'm not used. I haven't had a front end like this, I guess, since my 99. Well, since my 01 Softail. So for many years, I've had the Batwing fairing with all the stuff in the front. So I always had that drop weight, making turns and this and that. Not having that, and just that really light, nimble turning and stuff without that front weight, man, it's awesome. It's amazing. Now what's cool is it already came with the tack on it because it's a cop bike, so that's nice. I don't need the tack per se because I've been riding for so long, I kind of know. But when you start out on something new, you're trying to figure out exactly how it works and how you can make her one with you. I always like to kind of keep to see where I need to be when I'm shifting and stuff like that. This was a police bike in Wisconsin, so the original title is titled here in this wonderful state. So that's cool. It didn't come from another police station from around the way or somewhere else in the country, which would have been fine. But now the thing is obviously it took all the cool stuff off. I have all the red buttons for the sirens and all that stuff. That's all been disconnected and taken away. However, because of that, I don't have a horn. I have the physical horn on my bike, but it's not hooked up right now because they had to take all that stuff off and probably didn't bother hooking the horn back up. Easy fix to get that horn back. But yeah, it has Chromeworks exhaust on it, slip-ons. I'm just leaving them. I ain't touching them. They sound great. Nice and meaty and throaty. Able to still hear my music on the interstate when I'm ripping, doing 75, 80 on the interstate. So I like that. So yes, the saga is over. The back and forth since October 7th from my video that I made when I went to Met's Machines. I was riding, just trying to get some footage, and lo and behold, my engine light turned on and it sounded like it was suffocating for gas. The engine was running really loud and clunky, like it was starving for something, so I immediately took it in. Unfortunately, the thing is when you have an aftermarket warranty on your motorcycle, depending on where you live, I know where I live, HD dealerships did not want to touch my aftermarket warranty. So I had to find local shops, which is fine. The problem is when you have local shops, you usually have one or two guys working at the garage. One of them is usually a master tech, and they're probably flooded with work. So my bike had to sit a while. While they looked at it, they couldn't get it to throw the coat again. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to take it back to where I bought it. I brought it back to them. They're like, yeah, no problem. Looks like your warranty is going to fix our repairs and everything. So they decided, not this bike, but my 15 Ultra, it needed a whole new ECU unit. So my warranty was able to be, but like I said, because it's a smaller shop that sells everything, not just Harleys, but all makes, all models, all brands, including boats and everything else. They only got they only have enough mechanics to go around, and of course they're flooded because not only are they fixing motorcycles, they're fixing snowmobiles, getting ready for the winter. They're winterizing boats. They're selling boats because they're on sale because it's not boat season. So there's only so many guys, so many hands. So my bike just kind of sat for a while. So it took me a while. Obviously you saw it in this video. Test riding all kinds of cool ones. Kind of, well, should I go with this one? Should I go with that one? Will this one work? Can I make this one work? Talking with salesmen, figuring out the budgets. All the things that you know when you get a bike. But at the end of the day, I had to get this one. She only has about 17,000 original miles on it for an 07, which is pretty low. I'm happy with that. In fact, this is my third 2007 bagger. Can you believe it? My first bagger I've ever had was a 2007 Electric Glide. All right, I put apes on it, took the pack off, it ripped. Unfortunately, it came on hard times. She had to go. Then when I got another one, I got another 2007 Ultra Glide. I ended up with this one. So this is going to be the Midwestern Motorbike official motorcycle for the foreseeable future. I'm going to have her for a while. There she is, guys.